People of the world, I present you with the great Australian chocolate ripple cake. G'day everybody and welcome to my Aussie Garden and Kitchen edition. If it's your first time here, my name's Darren, but please call me Daz. So in this video, I'm going to show you a really cool Aussie dessert that's been a favourite in Australia since the 1930s. It's going to use these biscuits, or cookies as some people say overseas. It only takes 4 ingredients and it's a no-bake recipe. It's an absolute winner, an absolute favourite, so let's get on with it. Okay, so here's the ingredients and items that we're going to use today. We've got our chocolate ripple biscuits over here. We've got our 1 teaspoon of castor sugar just down there. A teaspoon of vanilla essence just there. That's imitation vanilla essence. 600 mils of thickened cream here that we will whip in this bowl here with this electric beater here, because an electric beater is a lot faster than a hand whisk. So first of all, we'll get our cream into the bowl. Very happy to see the safety seal. Let the castor sugar, the vanilla essence, imitation vanilla essence, and we'll get this cream whipping. So with your cream, it's really important that you don't make it too sweet because you've got the sweetness from the biscuits in there. So a teaspoon for this amount of cream is more than enough. So this recipe can be traced back to the 1930s in Australia, where a biscuit company was putting out recipes in newspaper print and magazines and even leaflets, showing people how to make the recipe using their biscuits. Then in around, I think the 1960s, the company either merged or was bought out by the Arnott's company. And then obviously, as you can see here, Arnott's developed their own branding and name and everything for these chocolate ripples. And they're specifically made for this recipe. And in fact, if you turn the packet over, you can see on the side of the packet that they have the actual recipe on how to make them. So it's a pretty popular item. And even though you might not be able to get these in Australia, I highly recommend that you do try and find something similar in your country and give it a go yourself. So there we go, we've got the cream whipped. We don't want to turn it into butter, so don't over whip it too much. You don't want it to separate or go grainy. And that's all we need. We want that just to be able to coat the biscuits. You can see it holding its shape there. And that's going to soak into the biscuits to make them absolutely delicious and soft. We'll move this cream to the side. Open our biscuits. Voila, the great Aussie chocolate ripple biscuit. So as you can see, chocolate biscuit, or cookie as people call them in other countries. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, without dropping them everywhere, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to take 5 and keep them aside. These are going to be used as garnish later. So I'll just take these, I'll pop them in a plastic bag. Actually, no. I'll pop them in here. Seal this up. And I'll be using these as a garnish tomorrow. So now we take a plate. So we'll bring our cream in. Okay, quite simply, take some cream, run it down the middle, like so. Don't have to be too fussy about this. It's just so the biscuits stand up. And then you take 1 biscuit, take some cream, put it on, stand it up. Take 1 biscuit, add some cream, wedge it in. And you just keep on doing this all the way along until you've done all the biscuits. So I'm actually entering this recipe into a collaboration on YouTube by Gail Southern Living, Yogi Hollow Farm, and Granny Merino. So please check out all their channels. I will try to remember to leave their names down in the link below. Please check out all the other videos in the collaboration. I've already looked at some of the recipes and they're awesome. And also all the channels are actually awesome channels, which I'm following anyway. So go check them out and give them some support. They're great people, they're awesome recipes, and there's just so much to learn and enjoy. Now we've got to this point, you can see the gaps in between the biscuits. That's fine. It's covered underneath. Now, what we're going to do with all of these is fill those gaps and coat the whole thing in cream. I'm showing you the most basic common recipe here in Australia, but you can jazz it up. You can soak the biscuits in rum essence or rum itself. I do know people that soak the biscuits a little bit. They dip them in Baileys. And also with the garnish, you can use fresh strawberries, fresh raspberries, grated chocolate, peppermint crisp, which is a peppermint crisp candy coated in chocolate. And people like to grate that and sprinkle that on top. So there we go. This is the chocolate ripple cake so far. It's not finished yet. All we need to do is garnish it tomorrow. Now I say tomorrow because we want this to go into the fridge and sit overnight. We want all those biscuits in here to go nice and soggy in all this cream. And then tomorrow, we'll just put a bit of garnish on top with the biscuits that I've left aside. Sprinkle them on top. And then we just cut it on an angle and away we go. It is the most delicious dessert. And it's always a crowd pleaser. Okay, so it's the next day. Put in my remaining cookies. There's 4 of them there. Or biscuits, as we say here. Just gonna put them in the tea towel. I'd like to have a thicker bag, but this is all I've got. So I'm just putting them in a tea towel in case they break through the plastic. And I'm just gonna give them a crush, like so. Bit of a roll. And have a look at it, if you can see it there. It's a fine crumb. And it's got a few big chunks as well. Just breaking those up with my finger as I talk. That's fine, that's what I'm looking for. And here we go. This has been in the fridge for about 20 hours. I would have liked it a bit longer, but I'd like to get this video made now, so I've just put plastic wrap over the top of it while it was in the fridge to protect it and also to stop the cream from discoloring or drying out. I'm just going to grab my crumbs here. Like so. And that's pretty much done. That's all there is to it. So the next step, once I do this, is to actually cut it and have a look at it. That is a good old Aussie chocolate ripple cake, a very basic version. As I said, you can modify it in so many different ways with so many different toppings and garnishes. Those biscuits inside can be dipped in Baileys or a bit of rum essence or even coffee. Flavor them up, and yeah, there's so many options with this, but as I said, this is the basic version. So what you do is you slice it on an angle so you get the nice pattern with the biscuits and the cream. Here goes. Oh, it feels soft. That feels really good. I'm using a cheese slicing tool here. And there we go. As you can see, you've got the lines of the cream and the biscuits in there. You can also see the patterns on the plate there and the garnish on top. Okay, now the taste test. I'm pretty excited as I started this last night and it's now almost 24 hours later. So let's get stuck in. Oh man, that biscuit, or cookie as people say, is so soft. My mouth's watering as I'm talking. There goes. Oh man. Wow. Really important not to have the cream too sweet, and it's not too sweet, because the biscuit balances it out perfectly with the sweetness of the chocolate biscuit. I like this garnish on top because it gives it just that little bit of crunch when everything else is soft. I've got to give it one of these. Daz approves. If you did like the video, please hit that thumbs up just down below there, just to tell YouTube that it was a good video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.